Hey guys, I wanted to jump on here just for a few minutes and share my testimony with you. Some of you know my story and some of you don't. Um, anyways, I came from a broken home, a very dysfunctional home. I came from a family line of some sort of addiction, varying from alcoholism to eating disorders. But I always grew up with a void on the inside of me. Something was missing. I just had a gaping hole, and I spent the majority of my 20s, 30s, early 40s trying to fill that void. Um, it started out when my doctor prescribed me pain pills for my back, and I took them as normal for a while, but it didn't take me long to realize that they made me feel normal, and or so I thought that's what normal was. And so I bought into that lie. And, they gave me the energy to do all the things that I wanted to do, but just couldn't seem to do. I wanted to go to my kids' ball games. I wanted to be able to get up and clean my house. I wanted to just engage in life. But for one reason or another, I just couldn't. Depression just was debilitating. So I just fell into a very long addiction. Eventually, I got into some legal trouble, and I was put on probation. I was given a 28-year suspended sentence. I tried several times to beat my addiction. I would get clean for a little while, then I would relapse over and over again. I just couldn't seem to do it. It was bigger than I was. At one point, it got so bad that my mom kicked me out, and my kids were done with me. I was done with me. My youngest daughter told me that she had to get away from me or she was going to end up just like me. She said that she deserved a fair shot at life, something that I had never given her, and I knew she was right. At my very lowest point, I was sitting on the end of my ex's bed, and I had a needle in one hand and a tie-off in the other. And I told God that I wanted out. I didn't care how that out came. I truly did not care how that out came. I had never felt more alone than I did in that moment. My son actually went to my probation officer and told her that I was using again, and told her that I was going to die if she didn't do something. So she issued a warrant for my arrest. She gave me the choice of either going to prison or going to Teen Challenge. And I actually contemplated going to prison just despite everybody else. But deep down inside, I knew that I couldn't go to a Christ-centered place and be around him and not eventually surrender to him. I had always loved God my whole life. I had always loved him. But it wasn't up until I went to Teen Challenge on April 15th, 2015, that I fell in love with him. When that was, when I felt like that was my ending place, when it's actually my beginning. I spent 10 and a half months there, and then I got sent home on a medical leave for my knee, and I didn't understand that. I had finally resorted to the fact that I was going to, for the first time in my life, I was going to finish something. And I told God I didn't understand. All he had to do was speak the word, and I would be healed, and I would complete this. I'd been hearing about how he's a God of completion and whatnot, but he told me not to lean on my own understanding. So I ended up, several months later, I relapsed once. And 9 months after I got out of Teen Challenge here in Arkansas, God sent me to Teen Challenge of New Mexico to complete my program and do an internship. I ended up relapsing one time after that. But I'm proud to say that that was almost 6 years ago. And on October 15th, I will have 6 years clean. And it is only because of the grace of God. You know, I am truly a product of grace. And over the last 6 years, God has given me back my kids. He's given me back my life. He's given me back my desire to live, not just to exist, but to truly live. I have 3 beautiful grandbabies, and I have another one on the way. I have an amazing relationship with my family. I got married on July 1st to an incredible man of God. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. He has given me back everything that the enemy has ever stolen from me. Guys, I just want to say that if you are struggling with addiction, any kind of addiction, God can pull you out of it. You are not without hope. You are not without hope. You have hope in Him. His plans are to prosper you, not harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. And I encourage you to allow Him, to let Him help you. I encourage you, if you don't know Him, ask Him into your heart. If you need somebody to talk to, reach out to me. I am here. I am here. I will help you. God is a very personal God. He showed me a while back that night that I was sitting on the end of my ex's bed, that night, the worst night of my life, when I was at my very lowest, and I was so scared and I was so alone. He showed me that He was in that room with me, that He stayed there with me. He never left me because He didn't want me to be alone. He didn't want me to be alone. You guys, He didn't see a drug addict. He didn't see a liar or a thief. He saw His daughter, and He loved me. He loved me through it all. So I encourage you, lay it down at His feet. Let Him give you beauty for the ashes. Thanks, guys, for listening.